Yes.
Oh, Lord, my hair.
What's up?
Hi. I can't get my thing to stay up.
I'll fix it.
I'm trying.
Now she's trying to come up with excuses.
No, I'm good. I'm a little
Uh,
nervous. It's
well,
easier to do this in front of a bunch of alcoholics and drug addicts because I know they can relate and they've probably done just as bad as I have. You know what I'm
most of
saying?
these are in here too.
Okay. I hope so.
If not, whatever. Who gives a shit what they think? Uh,
Oh, thanks, Shannon.
all right, y'all. Kristen's gonna tell her story tonight. Y'all can listen to her. Have fun.
Okay. My sobriety date is May 18th, 2018. I have a sponsor. I have worked the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. The program saved my life. Okay, so okay, I'm supposed to say what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. Okay, and anything that I like talk about, I feel like in some way it has affected my life and played a part in the reason why I wanted to numb the way that I felt. So, growing up, my parents were separated when I was born. My dad is one of us. So they were separated when I was born, and my mom had remarried another alcoholic. And the very few memories that I have left of my dad is when him and my mom would like get into physical fights. My mom and my stepdad, like I remember waking up late at night and my mom taking me and my brothers and sisters to go stay at a friend's house or a hotel room because my stepdad was drunk and, you know, they were fighting. Growing up, I witnessed a lot of, I don't know, my life was just really chaotic. My family was chaotic. My dad, when I was 10 years old, my dad got murdered because of drugs. So like I feel like that I was a really good kid growing up. Like I played softball and I was really good in sports and I was good in school. When I was 16 years old, I lost my virginity and got pregnant at the same time. And so that was pretty devastating. I thought my mom was going to murder me. I think she come really close. But while I was pregnant, my sister was also pregnant. And she ended up having a baby. And that little boy, I feel like, become like one of my own kids. And because he was with me just as much as he was with her, you know, and she had her own struggle and whatever. But when he was 4 years old, my sister was driving home from the dentist with him and they ended up having a wreck and he was killed like instantly. So like I've like had a lot of loss in my life. So I had my first child. When I had my first child, I was 16 years old in high school. And after I gave birth to him, I had emergency surgery to have my gallbladder taken out. And this was the first time that I was ever introduced to pain medicine. And I like my mom would like keep it from me, but I didn't really understand why. But one day she had gave me some before she left and she was gone and I was still hurting. So I went in there and I got another one. And like just the feeling that overcome my body when I took that second one was like, I just wanted more. Like that's all I thought about. That's all I wanted was more. And, so like,
Calm down. You're good. Calm
so,
down. You're good.
okay. So I had my first child when I was 16. I ended up like completing high school. I finished high school. I went to college. When I was 19 years old, I ended up having my second child. And that relationship, he was mentally abusive more than physically, but it was really toxic. And I went through a lot of shit that no girl or woman should ever have to go through. So we ended up splitting up. So at this time, I'm 19 years old. I have 2 kids. And I'm like not in full force, like with drugs or anything, but like it's picking up. Like I'm doing it more and more. And so I had a house built when I was 19. So that was one good thing I had going for me. I ended up getting introduced to Suboxone, which was like, it was my drug of choice, I guess. And ever since I got introduced to it, there was not many days after that that I ever went without it. And when I did go without it, it wasn't my choice. And like that was the only start. But I ended up getting into another relationship because I feel like that I need a man to make me, to validate me or whatever. And so I get into a relationship, and I'm with this guy like for like 2 months, and we end up splitting up. And 2 weeks later, let me go back. Okay, so we ended up splitting up, all right? And at this point, you know, I was doing Suboxone and like drinking like absolutely every chance that I got. And so we had split up, and I never used to go to the bar by myself, but for whatever reason, this night I went to the bar by myself. And the only thing that I remember is having one drink, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up in a crack house with someone I don't know, and y'all know already what happened. So I immediately start freaking out and I leave. Well, 2 weeks later, I found out that I was pregnant. So I was assuming that the guy that I had been dating was the dad, and but I still had a fear that possibly he wasn't. Okay, so the whole time I was pregnant, like I kind of had a doubt. Okay, so me and the guy that I was seeing ended up getting back together. And I was still like, this whole time I'm still doing Suboxone, and I keep trying to like stop. And this is the first time that I realized that I can't just like stop. And so it becomes more obvious to him. And one day I leave to go to the store, and he goes through my stuff and he finds it. And we got into a really big fight, and that was the end of our relationship. He told me that he didn't want anything to do with this child. This child wasn't his. Anything and everything he could say. But so anyways, I ended up having my third child, and he was healthy, thank God. So here I am, single mom, 3 kids at this point, and I get into another relationship after this. And like I get introduced to meth for the first time. Okay. And the guy that introduced me to it was a really good friend of mine, and he had been trying to get me to do it for like months. Okay. And I was like, no, like I want to keep my teeth. Like I was so afraid to do it because I didn't want to lose my teeth, because that's just what I thought would happen. And so anyways, he caught me on a day that I was just going through some shit, and I was down and out, and there was not very many days after I did it for the first time that I ever went without it, not willingly. And like my life just slowly started, like I started just losing everything. Ended up someone ended up calling CPS and having me drug tested, and I failed, and they took my kids. I had to complete like parenting classes and whatever. So I did all that, and I'm supposed to start getting visits with my kids again, and I get some papers in the mail where their step parents are trying to adopt them. 2 of them, anyways. I have 3 at this point, but 2 of them are trying to get adopted. And so like my addiction just got worse. Like I felt like that if I didn't have my kids, like what was even the point of getting sober? And so I ended up like missing visits with my kids. And then I ended up, they went and got me for child support. Okay. And so I was court ordered to pay while the kids were in their care, and they like backdated it from the day that they filed. And so automatically I was like $1,000 behind. Okay. Well, the judge was like, you have 1 week to pay it, or you're going to have to do 30 days in jail. So I was like, okay, well, I did not come up with $1,000 in 1 week. It just didn't happen. And so instead of going to court and just saying that, I went on the run. And so I met another guy, and he had a place on a dead end road. No one would know that I was there. So I went and hid out at his house. Okay. And I was on the run from the cops. And this lasted about 2 months before I actually got arrested. So I ended up getting arrested, and I was supposed to serve 30 days. Well, I ended up writing a letter to the judge asking to just please give me an opportunity to get out and work and pay like I'm supposed to pay and take care of my kids. And, so anyways, I ended up getting out at like 21 days in. And the guy that I was staying with, we ended up like getting back together after I got out. And the relationship was really toxic. We were both like just spun out. And I ended up we got like, it got really abusive. He ended up like beating the shit out of me several times. So I left, and like a week after I left, I found out I was pregnant again with my 4th child. And like, I don't want any hate for this, and like, you can have your opinion on whatever, but at this point, when I took that pregnancy test and I knew that I was pregnant, like, I was like, and this is really selfish of me, but I was like, how in the hell can I bring another child like into this? Like, I just didn't understand how I was going to take care of a 4th child with the situation that my kids were already in. And so the guy that I was seeing, we had come up with a plan that I was going to have an abortion, and he was supposed to get like a big quantity and get rid of it to be able to pay for the abortion. And so every week that went by, I would remind him like, hey, we're running out of time. We only have this much time left. And like, we were just out of time. And so at this point, like, our relationship was like really, really bad. Like, he beat the shit out of me so bad that I like pissed all over myself. Like, he ripped my clothes off of me. And I was scared. Like, I didn't know what to do. And so like, he ended up going to bed. And so the next day he woke up and everything was okay. Like, he was normal again. And then he sent me a message wanting me to, no, he didn't send me a message. He come in the house because it got to where like he just wasn't there anymore, like because he was always out doing whatever. But so he come in and he was like, "Are you gonna cook supper tonight?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, if you're gonna stay here and eat it, I will." And because I got tired of cooking and nobody being there to eat it, and so I ended up cooking supper. Well, like right before I got done cooking, he left. He was like, "I'll be right back." So I went ahead and fixed our plates, had our plates set on the table, and I go into the bedroom to do laundry, and he comes in and he was like, "Are you gonna eat?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I gave him his plate and I took mine and I sat down at the table, and like he switched me plates. Like the plates were already made and everything, but for whatever reason he switched me plates. I think he thought that I poisoned him or something. But so I ate and I went back into the bedroom to do laundry, and he comes in there and he was like, "I need you to pack your stuff. I'm taking you to your parents." And it's like 12:30 at night. And I was like, "Okay, can we just do this in the morning? Like it's 12:30. My parents are in the bed." So he was like, "Okay." So he went back outside and I heard him crank his truck, and he was out there for like 5 minutes, and he come back in and comes up behind me and like grabs me by the hair of my head, um, slings me over the other side of the bed and takes my phone and busts it up against the wall. Um, and he like punches me in the face, and like he kept like poking me in the forehead saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, you evil spirit, get out of my house." Like it was really wild. But so I tried to like leave, and every time I would try to take a step, he would jerk me and then push me down like all the way outside. And so we lived on a gravel driveway. It was like 2 miles long. It was a dead end. So there was like no houses or anything around. Just a bunch of trees and fields and woods, whatever. And so I finally make it out to the driveway, and I didn't have any shoes on. At this point, I'm 5 months pregnant, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I get out to the driveway, and he like slings me. So I kind of like started fast paced walking, but I didn't want to like take off running. I didn't want to like, I don't know. I was scared. I didn't want him to think that I was about to do something or whatever. So he backed up to the house, and I heard him crank his truck, and I'm like, this man is about to run me over. And I had no phone. I had nothing. There was no one around. So I went and I hid behind the first tree that I seen, and I seen his headlights come, and they just stopped, and I was like, oh fuck, he's seen me. And then he starts backing up towards the house, man. And when he backed up towards the house, I ran through these woods and through this field as far and as fast as I could run. And I got up to the top of this hill, and I heard him holler, "Hey!" And like, I don't know if he seen me or if he was just trying to get my attention. I have no idea, but I was not stopping. And so I got up to the top of this hill, and I went to run down the hill, and I ended up tripping over a log and rolling into someone's backyard. And I ran up to their door, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And if they didn't answer the door, I was going in. But they had left, like, I went to knock on the door, and they had left their key in the door. You know, like they forgot to take their key out when they unlocked the door. And so, anyways, I knocked on the door. They come to the door. They ended up calling the cops, and the cops had just been out there 2 nights before because he'd beat the piss out of me, literally. So they went back to the house to look for him. They couldn't find him, and so they come back and got me so they could take me there to get some of my stuff before they like took me to my mom's. And when we were headed back towards the house, like the driveway was like just fields, and you could see like tire marks where he was like driving through the fields, I'm sure, looking for me. So anyways, I ended up getting an EPO on him. I went and stayed with my mom, and at this point, like I wasn't doing anything but Suboxone. Not that makes it any better, but that's what I was doing. Okay. And a few months later, I ended up giving birth to my fourth child, and the day after the day after he was born, I was in the bathroom. I had someone come see me, and I was in the bathroom snorting dope off the fucking bathroom counter after literally probably not even 24 hours after giving birth. Nothing that I am proud of. Like, I'm really ashamed of the things that I've done. But the day we were supposed to get released, one of the nurses come in and was like, "We're gonna have to keep your baby here. He's having trouble sucking a bottle." But they released me. And immediately, like, I knew something wasn't right. I could just feel it in my stomach that something wasn't right. And so they ended up releasing me and keeping him in the NICU. And so I go home to get some stuff, and the baby's doctor calls me, and he was like, "I need you to be honest with me and tell me what exactly that you were taking, because your baby is having withdrawals," which was Suboxone. And I absolutely do not know how social services did not get involved, but he was in the NICU for 3 weeks, and I got to bring him home. They had to, like, give him medicine to wean him off of the Suboxone. But so I had my fourth child, and this whole time I haven't seen two of my other kids. Okay, so at this point it's been like a year, I guess, maybe a little more than a year. And so the judge, I ended up filing a motion and going to court to get visitation of my kids. And even after they had already set up this adoption thing, like, it wasn't the hearing yet. So I just couldn't get sober. And honestly, I didn't know anything about recovery. No one had introduced me. I didn't know, like, I knew what AA was, but, like, I just didn't know, and I was never given the opportunity until when I got sober. But the judge had set up some visits with my two boys that I hadn't seen in almost 2 years. And I don't know, just the way that the things played out with that situation, I feel like it was all just a setup. But so they had scheduled some visits, and before the visit, I had went and got like some Play-Doh, because it was supervised. I went and got some Play-Doh and some coloring books, some puzzles, just stuff for me and the kids to do. And when I tell y'all that I was, like, over the moon excited. Am I freezing?
You ain't over here. I think it's
Okay.
them, probably.
Okay. I was, like, over the moon excited to be able to see my kids that I hadn't seen in so long. And so the visit was from like 8 to 10. And I get there, I pull in, and I see my son Gage sitting in the parking lot, because I had to go around back and they had to park up front. But as I was pulling in, I seen him, and I, like, waved at him. And so I pull around back, and I'm getting all the kids' stuff out of the car, and I walk up to the door, and this lady meets me at the door, and she's like, "I'm sorry, but they left." And I was like, "What do you mean they left? Like, I just seen him out in the parking lot." And they were like, "They don't even have to wait a minute, and it's really up to them whether or not they reschedule your visit." So, like, I go into, like, convulsions, like, couldn't breathe, couldn't drive, I had to have someone come pick me up, because it felt like literally that someone was taking a knife and just, like, stabbing me in the chest with it. Like, I'd gotten so excited that I hadn't seen my kids for 2 years, and I didn't get to. So that just, like, made me go even harder in the madness. Like, I did not want to feel the way that I was feeling. And I ended up getting with another guy. I got in another relationship. And I guess, like, my whole life, like, I don't know. I just always felt like codependent, like I needed somebody. And so the guy that I ended up getting with was definitely one of us, and we were like fire and gasoline, man. Like, man. So we were just doing the most, doing illegal shit, going to jail. We were arrested several times. And the very first time that I was introduced to like a recovery home or anything like that was we had went to jail, and he was already on probation, but so he got court ordered to a recovery home. Well, this recovery home that he was in had a women's house too. So I'm like, okay, like I'll go. Just I don't really want to fucking be sober, um, but I'm codependent and I just want to be wherever he's at, you know. And so we ended up going to a recovery home. I think I stayed sober for like 2 weeks, but I remember going into meetings and people would be picking up coins and shit, and I'm like, there's no damn way. Like I thought that someone always did something, you know. Like I was like, there's no way
Yeah.
that they're sober, and
Some of them probably wasn't.
well, probably not. But so I stayed sober for like 2 weeks, and I ended up relapsing, and they kicked me out of the recovery home. They let me come back the next day, and so at this time, my mom has the last child that I had, my fourth child. My mom had him, the two other kids I hadn't been able to see for 2 years, and then my daughter is with her dad. And I like throughout this process, I've still been able to see my daughter. Like he never kept her from me. Like even like when I was really bad, he would still allow me to come see her. I just couldn't leave with her. So I'm really thankful for that. But I don't know where I was at.
You're doing good. Quit freaking out.
Okay, so I relapsed at the recovery home. They kicked me out. And the next day, they were like, okay, if you really want to do this, we'll let you come back. So I was like, all right. So I made it. I ended up going back. I made it like 2 more weeks, and I ended up getting high again. So they kicked me out. So I found another recovery home to go to, and I started taking gabapentin. I was like, okay, I'm not doing meth or Suboxone or anything like that, but let me just take some gabapentin because I don't know, it's not sober. But we went to I was at this house for like 3 weeks, and we ended up going up to Lexington for an AA convention, and we had stayed up really late the night before and got up really early. But the day after we got there, the people that I was with left to go get coffee. And when they come back, I was passed out in the lobby of this hotel because I was fucked up on gabapentin. So anyways, I got kicked out of that halfway house too. So I'm like, fuck it. I left there, and the first damn thing I did was go and find some meth. I hate even saying that, but that's the way it was. I don't know.
We all done it. I did
know.
anyway.
I did. But so the guy that I was dating ends up getting kicked out of that recovery home because he couldn't stop worrying about what I was doing. Okay. So when he leaves the recovery home, automatically he gets a warrant issued for his arrest, right? So we are at this point homeless. I had absolutely nowhere to go. Didn't have a vehicle. 2 of my kids were gone. My other kid was with my mom, and my daughter was with her dad. My life at this point was just a complete shit show. Like I had absolutely nothing. And let me just say, I've stayed at some places that I never thought I would ever find myself. And so I ended up finding out that I was pregnant with my 5th child. And again, I was like, okay, I cannot bring a baby into this mess. Like, I can't get sober. I just could not get sober. Like, I wanted so bad to get sober, but I just could not. And so 2 days after I found out I was pregnant, the guy that I was with, or the guy that I was pregnant by, goes to jail. So I go and I stay at my mom's because that's the only damn option I have. And I was lucky that I even had that, honestly. And, y'all, as bad as I hate to say it, like, I just could not stop. Okay. I just could not stop. Here I am pregnant. I just couldn't stop. And, I love my kids more than anything in this world. But the moment that I don't know, the moment that I realized that the love that I had for them was not enough, I knew, like, I had a problem. And, so anyways, here I am, like, pregnant with my 5th kid. Two of my kids are, I haven't been able to see. My daughter's with her dad, and I have my youngest son at my mom's. I'm not working. I can't keep a job because I can't stop getting high. I can't be there on time. Nothing like that. And so in the middle of all of this, they have the adoption hearing for 2 of my boys. And I didn't even make it to, I did not even make it to court on time for this adoption hearing. I was late. And they ended up letting my kid's stepmom adopt my boys. They, like, completely removed me off the birth certificate, changed their names, not drastically, but they changed their names. And at this time that this happened, my oldest son was 7 at the time, and then my other son, I think, was maybe 2 or 3. Anyway, so the adoption went through. I lost all my rights to my 2 boys, and at that point, like, I just did not, I didn't even want to live, okay? Like, I have never felt so hopeless, and I don't know, I just prayed every day for God to take my life, you know? Because here I was bringing yet another child into this mess that I had created, and it wasn't fair. So ended up, I'm sure I've missed a lot of things, but I ended up getting in some legal trouble yet again. And at this time I was like 7 months pregnant and ended up going to jail. And the judge told me, she was like, if you can pass a drug test, I'll let your mom sign you out. And I had been in there for like a week at this point. So I'm like, okay, you know, I thought I would be okay. So they gave me a drug test and I, like, failed. And the judge told me, she was like, you will be handcuffed to the side of a bed at Pee Wee Valley before I let you get out and use with this child. This baby will not be born with drugs in its system. So she wanted to send me to like a recovery home that was like 3 hours away from here. And I was really fucking scared. You know, like, at this point, I was like, okay, like, I don't really have any other option but to get sober. Did I really want to be sober? Absolutely not. Um, but I knew if I was going to stay out of jail that I had to get sober, at least for the time being. And so I wrote a letter to the judge, and I was like, you know, I'm willing to get sober, and the only support system that I have is here, and you know, I would like to be able to maintain a relationship with the two kids that, you know, I did have here. And you know, I just asked her if she'd be willing to allow me to go to somewhere a little closer. Anyways, the next day she sent me to Park Place, which is a 28-day program.
In Bowling Green.
Yeah, well, it's actually, the women's is actually in Scottsville now.
Mm-hmm.
But so I went to a 28-day program, and like, you know, when you first get into rehab, they ask you like what drugs you used, how much you used, how often you used, the amount. Like, I
Yeah.
totally lied because I thought that I thought that if I wasn't honest and I didn't tell them that I used a whole lot, that they would be like, okay, maybe she doesn't have a problem and let me go. No, they did not do that.
I just maxed them out every time I had to answer them. Hit the most and go on with it.
Right.
That's what I did.
Well, I was hoping that they would be like, all right, she's good. She ain't got a problem. Damn well I did. But so on the court order, it said that I had to follow the recommendations of whatever the treatment center, whatever you would call it, suggested. So of course they're like, okay, she needs long-term treatment. And like, honestly, at this point, I did not have any desire to be sober. Like, I was obviously was just there because the judge sent me, and I know, like, all the things that I had went through. All, like, I know that, you know, maybe my mindset should have been a little different, but it wasn't. And that's just like, I don't know. So I ended up completing this 28-day program. I had to wait for a bed to come open at a place called Haven for Change, and it's a women's long-term treatment, and it's like transitional living. So, and this is the only place that I know, like, locally around here or even close to here, that they allow you to bring your kids with you. Like, it's like this big house, and you have your kitchen, your bathroom, your room, all that stuff, and they like allow you. It's like set up for mothers who are, you know, trying to get sober. So when I end up getting there, at this point I'm like 8 months pregnant. So I'm about to give birth to another child, my 5th child, and I know that gets confusing. I have a lot of kids, y'all. But so I'm there for a month, and I give birth to my 5th child, and there was not a day, like, when I first got there, I called my mom like every single day begging her to come pick me up. Like, I did not know any of these women. I had no intentions of getting to know any of these women. The very first day I was there, my mom had brought my two-year-old at the time and just like dropped him off with me. And y'all, like, I hadn't really been a mom, like, not a good mom, you know. So trying to get sober and trying to be a sober mom, and like being an emotional wreck because I'm about to have a baby and my hormones and all that are just crazy. Like, I was miserable. I was so miserable. I was so scared. I ended up, the day that I was due to have my baby, I ended up having someone come pick me up. Like, I snuck all my stuff out and I put it in their vehicle, and I left, and I had them take me to my mom's house, and I pull up in the driveway, and because at this place you couldn't leave for the first 30 days unless you had someone with you that had been there longer than 30 days. And so I pull up, and my mom's outside, and she comes to the car, and she was like, I do not know what the hell you are doing, but you are not staying here. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to go back. I don't want to be there. She was like, I don't really care. She was like, you can either go back there or you can go back to jail, but you're not staying here. And that was the first time that I realized that my mom, like, that was just her way of, like, I don't know. I don't know what is the word that I'm looking for.
Her way of showing hard, tough love.
Yeah, I guess something like that.
I
Something like
don't.
that. I was looking for a
I'm
different
not
word,
good
but
with words. You're asking the wrong one.
So at that moment, I knew, like, she was serious. Like, she was done with my shit, and she was either ready for me to get sober or ready for me to go to jail. She didn't care which one it was, but she was not going to enable me any longer. And so my sister, which she was still in the madness at the time, and she might be watching this now, and that's fine. But she was like, well, you can stay with me. And she was getting high at the time. And it was on the day that I was due to have this baby. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I called the recovery home, and I was like, can I please come back? And they were like, if you can pass the drug test, you can come back. So anyways, I passed the drug test. They let me come back. And, like, during that time, like, I don't know, that's when I started noticing a little bit of a change. Like, I still had a reservation to get high eventually. But I don't know. A couple days later, I went into labor, and I had the baby. And when I, like, come home from the hospital, like, just all the women there, like, just, I don't know. I guess I really just felt like truly loved and cared about for the first time. Like, I really had friends, like, people that truly gave a damn about me and my kids. And I don't know, it was just different. I felt more comfortable. I wasn't ready to, like, pack up and leave. But I still wasn't being completely honest. Okay. So, like, when I got sober, like, shit just didn't change automatically. Like, I was sober, but I still wasn't doing everything the way that I should be. I wasn't being completely honest.
Yeah.
You know, and
Uh-huh.
I snuck into the house mom's room and got the Wi-Fi password and got caught because I had a sneak phone, because we had to turn our phones in after at a certain time. We couldn't go to bed with them. So I
Oh my
snuck in.
God.
So I snuck in there and got the Wi-Fi password because I had a sneak phone, and I wanted to be able to get on my phone when everybody was in the bed or whatever. And that's the first time.
I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh about that one.
Look, the very next day after I did that,
Mm.
are you okay?
Yeah, I broke my damn too.
The very next day after I did that, like, all day at work, like, it was all I could think about. I just knew that they knew,
Yeah.
So as soon as I get home from work, we had a therapist that was there, and like, we had to meet with her, like, every week or anytime that we needed anything. And so I went straight to her office, and I told them myself, which she knew anyways, because they had seen that there was too many devices hooked up to the Wi-Fi. And they went in my room and found my stick phone. So, like, all day, all I could think about was, oh my God, I'm gonna get kicked out. Like, I was scared to death that I was gonna get kicked out. And here I had 2 kids with me. I don't know, just that happening and shit. Like, I got put on a 7-day sit down, which means I could not leave the house. just to go to work, and that was it. I couldn't have no phone calls, nothing for 7 days. But during that time, like something inside of me like changed, like, and I started like getting more involved and going to meetings, and like I seen all these people that were like happy and like had nice things and like had good relationships, and um I found this one lady in particular that she was just like genuinely happy, and um everyone loved her, and I don't know, she just had something that I wanted. So, I asked her to sponsor me, and she did. And
Did she know you stole the Wi-Fi?
yeah, I got honest after that. I got honest after that. But so I ended up completing long-term treatment. Like when I got to treatment, I had no car. I had absolutely nothing besides a few clothes and some of my kids' stuff. The treatment was 6 months, which mine was longer because like you had to do certain things to be able to phase up, and where I was pregnant and had a baby when I first got there, like it just took me a little longer because I couldn't work, and that's one of the requirements. Anyways, I ended up being there for 13 months. Okay, a 6 month program. I was there for 13 months, and I ended up enough money, saving up enough money, me and a girl that I was there with, to get our own place. Okay, so we moved into our own place. Nothing fancy, but we were so damn excited, like we didn't even really care. You know what I'm saying? This is like the first time in a long time
Yeah.
that we've had our own
Your own
place.
place. It didn't matter
You
what the
know,
hell it was.
and listen, the only damn thing that I had was the few clothes that I had, my kids' clothes, one pack and play, and an air mattress that I had borrowed from a friend. That's all I had. But I was so damn happy, like just
You
to have
finally
that.
got something
Yeah.
that was
Um.
yours.
Right. But the people that I have like found in AA, like within like 6 months, my house, probably not even 6 months, maybe like 3 months, like my house was furnished because of like just people in AA, these people that I had built relationships with, like cared enough to like do these things for me. And
Smile. You're doing fucking great, for real.
so everything at this point is good. Like I've moved out on my own, or I have a roommate. Everything's good. Um, I'm working full time. I'm taking care of the kids by myself, and my youngest son's dad at this point is still in jail. Like, but eventually he gets out, and like I had been taking care of these kids for so long by myself and like let me tell you something. There was a lot of nights like I worked 40 hours a week, making $9.50 an hour, and raising two kids by myself. And there was nights where I had to choose between um, food for me or like diapers, or I would make sure they had food, and whatever they didn't eat I would have to eat their leftovers, because like it was rough. You hear me? It was rough. And so in this time frame, the things that I have, like I ended up getting my own car, and I paid it off. um I don't know where I was going with that, but my mind is like,
Mine was when I did mine. I was the same way. So I was
um,
everywhere. You were you were talking
oh,
about it, huh?
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But I thought I was talking about. Did I say that River's dad got out of jail? Okay, he
Yeah.
got into jail. Oh, and I was needing, like, I just wanted help. And I knew that me and him weren't good for each other, clearly. And I had recovery in me, and he had just been, like, dry. You know, he had been sober, but, like, he had just been dry.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you know, we'll try to work things out. Mm-mm. Like, there's a difference between being dry and being sober. Like,
Oh yeah.
or being dry and having recovery. Like, because in the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, like, helps you, like, work through all, like, the shit in here. And it helps you, like, see your part in everything. And it helps you mend relationships with people that, you know, you owe amends to. But, you know, I was so damn. He might be in here watching this, but I don't give a damn. I was so damn miserable that I was this close. I had been sober for a year and a half at this point, but I was this close to fucking drinking because I was just so miserable. So at that time, I realized I was like, okay, like, this is not worth my sobriety. I'm not doing it. We ended up splitting up, and it was complete and utter hell after that. But I ended up getting into a relationship with a guy that I was with for 2 years. Um, I don't know where I'm going with this, Dakota.
No, keep going.
um,
Mine was the same damn way. I'd start saying one thing and get tongue tied and go back to something else. And
I know because I keep thinking about shit that I left out, and I'm like,
just go
um.
back to it. It don't matter. You got it however long you need.
So also, I keep forgetting to talk about this, but, like, during this whole time that I've been sober and I was at the recovery home and I moved out, like, my daughter, I have been able to like, rebuild a relationship with her, and honestly, it's been over 4 years now, and I'm still, like, working on that. I'm just waiting for the day that she's like, I don't know. Sometimes she gets mad at me, and I'm like, oh my god, all the things that I've done is catching up, and she's like, she hates me, or, like, she's angry, or, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, so during that time I got to rebuild the relationship with my daughter, and I'm still working on that. um I'm raised, or I'm raising two of my boys. The guy that I was with that beat the hell out of me, it's Oakland's biological father. um we ran into him at the gas station not long ago, but he's never had anything to do with Oakland. Um, but this relationship that I was in, I feel like I'm rambling now. I was in a relationship for like 2 years. We ended up getting a place, moving in together. Everything was really good. Um, until it wasn't. Until it wasn't good. And
Quit looking at the comments.
oh, okay. So look, okay. So we ended up separating. Like, he done his thing, whatever he was doing, it wasn't okay. But
Yeah.
he was being really dishonest. After I had he might be watching this too, but I signed for a $30,000 motorcycle, like a dumbass. And so he was out doing whatever he wanted to do. Anyways, he ended up leaving. Okay, like, I lost my kids and I had went all through all this other stuff, but this is the first time, or the hardest thing that I ever went through, like, being sober. You know, like, all the other times before, I had something to numb the way that I was feeling so that I didn't have to feel it. And I really had a hard time with this breakup. And the only damn way that I stayed sober through this was because I stayed so connected with people, because that was a feeling that I did not want to fucking feel. I don't know if you've ever been heartbroken. I'm sure you have. Have you been heartbroken since you were sober? Oh, you don't have a heart? Okay.
No, I don't get heartbroken. Sorry.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I did. And actually, I felt absolutely, like, destroyed. You hear me? Like,
No.
I was, like, physically fucking sick over this. Okay? So, I didn't know if I was going to make it. And one day, it was like 2 weeks after we split up. Like, I'm telling you, I'm having a really hard time with this, okay? I'm in Walmart. And I go to pick up something off the bottom shelf. And I stand back up and I look over. And my 8-year-old son that I hadn't seen since he was a year and a half old was standing beside me, okay? He's been adopted. His name's been changed. I'm not allowed to have any kind of, like, contact with them. I'm assuming. So anyways, his stepmom hadn't seen me at this point, but I go over to the next aisle and I call my friend and I'm like, I can't breathe. Like, I hadn't seen this child in so long, and he was, like, right there, you know? And so I call her, and I just wanted her to stay on the phone with me while, like, I walked back in the aisle, because I wanted to get a good glimpse at him. Like, I wanted to see how tall he was, like, how big his ears were, what color his eye, like, things that I didn't know because I haven't been able to see him. But anyways, so that happened, okay? So then the very next day, Oakland and I are at the gas station, and we pull up, and this truck pulls up beside us, and he rolls down his window, and I look over, and it's Oakland's biological father, the one that, like, beat the shit out of me, one I hadn't seen since he beat the shit out of me. And he looks at me and he was like, "Oh, Kristen," he was like, "I almost didn't recognize you. You look really good." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks." And, like, he asked Oakland, like, how old he was and what, just random stuff. And he was like, "You'll be hearing from me soon." And so anyways, like, those two things happening in a row, and, like, I was like, I could not figure out what God, like, was trying to, like, tell me, what he was trying to show me. And the only thing that I got out of it was he was saying, look at the things that you've went through, that you're going to be okay, or you need to worry about focusing on rebuilding the relationships with your kids before, I don't know. But anyways, it was I don't know.
You're good. You're good. For real.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm trying to think.
You're good, Kristen. Take a minute and think. Ow, I stick.
So I done this news interview when I was, like, a year sober. The treatment facility that I completed contacted me wanting me to do a news interview about, like, how my life was before and how, like, my life is now. And so I did a news interview with this news station, and most of it was done at the treatment facility. But then she wanted to come back to my house and get some shots of, like, me and the kids. And, there was a picture of my oldest two boys hanging on their refrigerator. And she got a glimpse of the picture in the video, and it aired on the news, and people were sharing it on Facebook. And the next thing I know, the police department's calling me, telling me that that their step-parents did not give me permission, or anyone permission, to blast their pictures on the news. And they called the news station and went crazy. So the whole damn thing got erased. Like, they deleted it. They didn't air it again. So that happened.
Oh, that's crazy.
I don't know. Like, I never thought that I would live the life that I get to live today. And, like, my life is not perfect. And I have been through some shit. And I still go through some shit. But, like, I have so many people that are, like, that care about me. Like, I don't care what I had going on. Like, there are so many women that I could call right now that would be here no matter what. And that is something that I did not have before. Like, there was plenty of times that I was stranded and I had absolutely no one to call.
Yeah.
No one. Hell, my mom she was even done with me. But, like, I have a really good job. I got to take my kids on our first vacation ever. I had set a goal like a year ago, and I made it happen. So me and my kids went to the beach back in June, and that was a really good feeling. Something I had never been able to do, and I did it. So mine and my mom's relationship is really good. Like, she never fails to tell me how proud she is of me. She trusts me today. Like, I had done so many bad things to that woman, y'all. Like, so many. Taken from her. Just a lot. But we have a really good relationship now. And I don't know, I'm a little over 4 years sober. And
How long?
a little over 4 years.
4
years and 5 months, I think. 4 or 5 months. I don't know. My life is great. I'm so glad I got sober. Seriously, like,
No,
it is
for
worth
real.
it. I swear. I
You're doing
truly
so
didn't have
good.
any intention of staying sober, but I'm so damn glad that I did.
Yeah, for real.
So glad that I did.
Yeah, it's worth it. That's for sure. Does anybody got any questions for the Wi-Fi thief? I'm changing your number in my phone to Wi-Fi thief.
You're not gonna let me live that down now.
No.
It's funny.
I know there's a bunch of people asking questions when you're talking, so they may ask some.
In 4 years, have you seen any of the other children? I have a relationship with my daughter. She actually comes and stays the night. It took a long time for that to happen. But she's been staying the night with me for the last year. As for my 2 oldest boys, they were adopted by their step parents. So they're with their dad, but their stepmom adopted them. I seen my 8-year-old in Walmart, and I just got a glimpse of him. And then my oldest son, he's 14 now, and I haven't got to see him or talk to him. I don't want to say what I was going to say in case someone's watching, but he's been, like, he hasn't tried to contact me, but he has been looking. You know how you can see that on here now?
Yeah.
He popped up on it.
Yeah, I remember you texting me.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you texting me and telling me.
Yeah. How old are my kids now? My oldest is 14. I have an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. How many kids do you have with you now? I have 2 with me full time, and then I have my daughter on the weekends.
She got 43.
I hate whenever I get to all.
She's got 15 kids, y'all. You froze, Kristen. You froze.
Damn.
There?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Am I froze still?
Oh, you good now?
I'm trying to read. Do you have a higher power? Absolutely. I would not be where I'm at today without my higher power, which is God. That's who I call my higher power. Thank God that He seen something in me that I didn't see in myself, because I would not be sober otherwise. Will I ever get to hang out with who? My kids? I mean, I hope one day when they're old enough that I'll be able to rebuild a relationship with them. Yes, I'm single now. It's just me and the youngest boys and my daughter on the weekends. No, I'm not in a relationship now. I've been by myself for the last year. Can you say happy birthday, Ron, please? Happy birthday, Ron. Oh, I'm so sorry, Monica.
Christina, yeah, it's on my YouTube page. This will be on there too, as long as Kristen wants it on there.
Oh, I don't care.
I was gonna say I don't really care if you care or not.
Look, I wanted to read one more thing. Can I read something real quick?
I don't care what you do.
Okay. This is something that I read every time that I give my lead. I don't know, and it's just really powerful to me. And this comes out of the Alcoholics Anonymous book, okay? It says, I found everything I had ever looked for in Alcoholics Anonymous. I used to thank God for putting AA in my life. Now I thank AA for putting God in my life. I found my tribe, the social architecture that fulfills my every need for camaraderie and conviviality. I learned how to live. When I asked how I could find self-esteem, you told me by doing worthwhile acts. You explained the big book had no chapters titled Into Thinking or Into Feeling, only Into Action. I found plenty of opportunity for action in AA. I could be just as busy and helpful to others as I wanted to be as a sober woman in Alcoholics Anonymous. I was never a joiner, but I got deeply involved in AA service because you told me if I did, I would never have to drink again. You said as long as I put AA first in my life, everything that I put second would be first class. This has proved to be true over and over again. So I continue to put AA and God first, and everything I ever lost was returned many times over. The career that I lost has been restored with even greater success. The house that I lost has been replaced by a townhouse that is just the right size for me. So here I am, sober, successful, serene. Just a few of the gifts that the program for surrendering, just a few gifts of the program for surrendering, suiting up, and showing up for life every day. Good days and bad days. Reality is a wild ride, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. I don't question how this program works. I trust in my God and stay involved in AA service. Go to lots of meetings, work with others, and practice the principles of the steps to the best of my willingness each day. I don't know which of these keeps me sober, and I'm not going to try to find out. It's worked for quite a few days now, so I think I'll try it again tomorrow.
You can read good.
I can? Well,
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
ought to heard me trying to read that shit.
Oh, did you
Hold
read out
on.
of the book?
Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I was trying to write something. Yeah, I can't read worth shit. I stuttered.
I mean, I guess it really depends.
I'm
But I've read that thing so many times, like I kind of have it
over here
memorized.
like duh, but, I sound them out. I went to Monroe County, and I didn't even graduate. I quit high school.
You did?
Yeah, I quit.
I think I knew that. I remember that one time that we were supposed to go do something and you stood me up. Anyways.
No, I didn't.
You did. I will never forget that.
No, I didn't.
But I was doing the most, so it's probably a good thing we didn't. Honestly. But I didn't know you were doing the most either.
I never stood nobody up. I haven't went to meetings, y'all. I've been debating on it.
You should go. Look, the clubhouse here has really good meetings.
What's up,
Powerful.
Ashley? I'm definitely not going to one in Scottsville.
I don't go to the one in Scottsville.
Oh, I was about to
I don't
say.
live in Scottsville. I live in Bowling Green.
I was about to say, I can guarantee you I don't go to one in Scottsville because I'd be high by the time I left there.
No, I don't even know. I guess they do AA meetings there. I don't know. The very first meeting I went to, AA meeting, was when I was like 20 years old. And I had to take alcohol classes because me and my daughter's dad got into it. And I don't know. I was court ordered. And the very first AA meeting I went in and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, everybody went around the room and introduced themselves as an alcoholic. And I was just like, hi, my name's Kristen. Like, I was not about to say I was an alcoholic. And everybody was smoking cigarettes inside.
What's wrong with that?
They were smoking cigarettes inside this meeting. I mean, I don't know. Nothing's wrong with it, I don't guess, but it was just smoky.
Yeah, I never had to do meetings. I don't know how I managed to work my way around going to meetings, but I went to rehab and then that was it.
Yeah.
I go to probation and parole every month, and I still do that.
Yeah, I just got on unsupervised. I'm still on probation. How old am I? I'm 31.
I had enough.
Huh?
I was reading comments.
Oh. I'm trying to.
Does anybody else got any questions? Oh yeah, y'all. If y'all, a bunch of people keep asking. Yeah, if y'all want to hear my story, it's on. Y'all go to the page, click up here, and then you go to the YouTube channel, click it, subscribe, and it'll show you. All of them from the past. Jordy, you can go watch it on my YouTube channel. It'll be on there tonight.
Somebody said, have you ever tried Narcotics Anonymous? I have been to an NA meeting, but I found my home in Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, well, yeah, Jordan, you missed it.
God,
Okay.
she was a nervous damn wreck.
I was. And, like, I can do it good, like, in a meeting, I can do it just fine. But, I don't know. I guess I was just so afraid of, like, I can't really see who's watching, you know?
Who cares?
I know, but...
Hell, it made it easier for me doing it that way. I still
Well, I guess I just felt more comfortable because I know that the people who are in an AA meeting, like, definitely can relate, or they've done just as bad, if not worse, you know? So it doesn't make me feel as bad.
You shouldn't feel bad anyways.
I don't. Look, everything I went through made me who I am today. And let me tell you something. My life is good.
I mean, you spoke almost as well as I speak.
Almost as well?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That I'm fucking with you.
I was like, oh God, what do you mean?
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. Nah, for real though, you did awesome. And a really good story.
Thank you.
How do you help someone that is addicted? Quit enabling them. Steven said, are you trying to date again?
Steven. Why are you paused?
I'm not.
It says the host will be back soon.
Does it say that for everybody else? Hold on.
It's been saying that.
Well,
there you
right
are.
now.
Yeah, I see you.
Fish said you have nothing to be ashamed of. You said it. Everything you went through made you who you are today.
That's right.
See, everybody else said it ain't like that. Keep talking to him. I'll be right back.
Okay. How do you help someone that is addicted? You stop enabling them, for one. Most definitely. Thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jordan.
Thank you. What everybody say? I missed it.
Just people saying, I don't know. You did great. Be proud of who you become. I am. I most definitely am. Like, I hate that it took what it did for me to be here, but man, it was worth it.
Jordy. Nobody cares what you say.
I love her.
Yeah, I'm in Berrien County.
My boyfriend's an alcoholic, but doesn't see it an issue.
Good, Somebody, I don't know who, and I wasn't trying to interrupt her story, but a million people, when they see me eat this, they said, freeze it. I just put one in the freezer. I just put one.
I put those in the freezer for Oakland to take to school.
What's up, buddy?
Recovery dating isn't always best, and you can't force recovery. The person has to want it usually.
Oh, Lord, Jordy's back in here. Block her, Steven.
Don't block her.
What's up, buddy?
Don't block her. He will too.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while. How you been?
Are you talking to Beefeater?
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Josh Davis.
Oh, I don't know. He be popping up in my lives.
Vicky, I hope you have a good night.
Codependency was hard for me, even in recovery. Yeah, it's hard in recovery, out of recovery. Like, I finally reached a point in my life where I am good, like, with being alone.
Yeah, Josh, I know. There's a lot of... Dude, I moved away for a while, and I just moved back, like, 6 months ago. Trust me, if I had it, as soon as I'm off probation and parole, I probably won't live here no more.
Where you going?
I don't know, somewhere the hell away from here.
Damn.
I could care less about being here anymore. I got this
Yeah.
house. I got a badass house, but I'm going to Georgia. Will's
Georgia?
got 300 acres. I'm going to Georgia. I don't know where
Georgia
I'm
sounds
going. I'm going
nice.
somewhere. What are you doing in LaRue County, Josh? Kristen, thank you for telling your story, sweetheart.
Where did you see that at? I did not see that comment.
Oh, it's in there. It's in
Oh.
there.
Oh, you're welcome, Wolf. Absolutely. I hope I helped someone.
What's in Arkansas, Ashley? Jordy.
Did you say Jordan or Georgia?
I don't know what I said. Georgia. Georgia. What did
Georgia?
I say? Why did they say? How you liking it up here, Josh? Come to Philly. You won't last a second in the city. Can you say Georgia again? Georgia? I can't. I didn't see it, Will.
Thank you, Josh. He said Jersey.
I've never been in Arkansas once.
Never been there.
That's where I went to rehab at.
Arkansas?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you end up there?
8 hours from here.
Was you court ordered there?
No.
No. How did you find it?
Josh, no, I ain't no more. I went to Missouri to my grandma's because my grandma lived in Missouri at the time, and she found it.
Mm.
It was weird. She went to I was leaving Missouri that day to go back to Kentucky, and like I was just coming back to get high, and the Will said I'm here to support everyone, but these hot single moms in here turning me into a selfie. But yeah. Anyways, I went to Missouri, stayed with my grandma for 2 weeks. I was coming back home that day. She went and got her hair done that day, and she come back because I was ready to get home. And she come back and she had that packet to it and handed it me. It was like you're going here, and I was like, okay. It was awesome there though. Worked 6 days a week. I worked in a body shop. You
Mm-hmm.
never left that place. They had 200 acres. I'd go fish. I do whatever the hell I wanted.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty nice.
The recovery home I went to, like you have to work, obviously, because you have to pay rent, like you have to do all these things, and it just teaches you how to be an adult, a responsible
Yeah.
adult.
See, this place you didn't pay no rent or nothing like that. Like you lived in a house there. Uh, it's in Charlotte, Arkansas, y'all. It's in Charlotte, but it's called John 316 Ministries. But I went there, like I stayed there. The first month you don't have no phone at all the whole time you're there, and for the first month you can't make no phone call, nothing. Like you can't write no letters. That's all you can do the whole time is write letters. And Will, I'm moving in with you. Go ahead and get ready for it. But the after the first 30 days, they let you write letters, and that's it. And but they got 200 acres there. You work for them. Like they have body shops, kitchen, uh, like like landscape and just like building, like working on the houses there, everything, and mechanic shop, all that shit. I got to build a badass Ford Model A while I was
So is it
there.
like a nonprofit?
Yeah, it's nonprofit,
Okay.
and but you would eat every morning. You would eat. You'd have Bible study. Then you go to work. Get off work. You'd have like an hour and a half, 2 hours. You go back to Bible study, then you leave Bible study, and then the rest of the night you could do whatever you wanted. Like you could go fishing, but you couldn't leave that place. Like it's in like a place like Fountain Run.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's the whole population of that town was the people there, and
Okay.
but you like you did a lot of freaking Bible studies, a whole lot, but like I got in there good with the people working in the body shop. So when I got done with my last Bible study, I'd go hang out at the shop all night and sit in there and build shit, whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
But then I got in trouble after like 2 weeks of being there, and I had to do kitchen duty the rest of the time. I had to get up like usually like you had to be at the kitchen by like 7 o'clock every morning,
Mm-hmm.
and but when you got kitchen duty, you had to be there at 3 o'clock every morning, clean, cook, hand out food, and then when you got done working that day after supper, you had to stay and clean, which it
Oh
usually
dang.
didn't take 30 minutes. So yeah, I stayed my ass in trouble
What'd
there.
you do to get in trouble?
I just didn't like some of the stuff they told me,
Oh, thank
and
you,
my big mouth.
Steven.
my big mouth would. I tell them I didn't, and it's just a disaster.
Because we know everything. I was the same way too. I didn't want nobody telling
I
me what
didn't
I was
steal
gonna do.
Wi-Fi. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't
That's
like,
funny.
but I think I like. I don't even know how many months I like. I don't like much. I'm supposed to be on unsupervised right now.
I am,
Uh,
but I have until 2024.
I still go every month though.
How long have you
I've
been on
got
probation?
huh
How long have you been on probation?
over a year and a half.
Like I was on it for like 3 years before they moved me to unsupervised.
I only got 2 years though because I got pretrial diversion.
Lucky.
I had Johnny Bell as a lawyer. It's the only reason why. Only reason. I've got like 3-4 months left completely, and I'll be done.
Good. Oh,
And
thank you, Josh.
then I can go wherever the hell I want, do whatever the hell I want. Shelby asked me to move to Boston.
Boston?
Yeah.
What's there?
I don't know. He loves her too.
Oh, he's the one that gave his lead the other night.
Yeah, this is his house I live in.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I got this house from him when he moved up here.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know where the hell I'm gonna move. I'm moving the hell away from Barron County. I promise you that.
move to the beach. I want to live at the beach.
Cook. There's my BFL.
Oh gosh, I hope you missed my story.
Cook, I'm not coming to Scottsville.
Bad things happen in Scottsville.
Unless you're friends with Cook. Cook's my BFF. I gotta give him that. I called him one night in Nashville, or one day in Nashville.
Yeah, they do,
I
Austin. They did for me, anyways.
I called him one day. I said it was early one morning. I said I flew in there from North Carolina. I flew into it's been a little while back. I don't know how long. He had just got that truck he's got now. I called him. I was like, "You gotta come get me. I ain't got no way home. Come get my ass." And he drove all the way to Nashville. Come get me
Oh, it's a good
early
friend.
that morning. Yeah, Cook
I
is
don't
good
think.
people.
Yeah, he was always nice to me.
His dog, I can't stand that son of a bitch. His dog scared me to death. That son is like to eat me alive. He's got a damn Rottweiler that stands this tall. I ain't even kidding you. Oh, you sold it? It's about time.
The dog?
Yeah, I'll come back to your house now. Hell, that I wouldn't come back over there while you had that dog. Hey, I'm not kidding. Ask him one day when we were going to a concert. Whose concert was we going to? We was
I
going
think
to
I remember.
Garth Brooks concert,
You
and
posted
I was
something
trying to
about
get ready, and I went to walk out the front door. That dog was outside. And somebody saw me come open that door, and son of a bitch come at that door. I took off running like a damn little schoolgirl through his house. I said, get it,
That's
I'm scared
great.
to death. Hey, that dog scared anybody. I ain't kidding.
That's funny. Is that Stefan?
Yeah. Yeah, we had
Stefan?
a good time at that concert. It was a good concert.
I want to see
Many,
Garth Brooks.
many memories from that
Is
night
that
at
when
that
y'all
concert.
posted about finding a date or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember seeing that.
Yeah, that was a fun concert, wasn't it, Cook? Oh.
Stefan, I'm glad. I'm glad that it helped. That was my goal, to at least help one person.
Oh, that was the next morning was the worst. I woke up and I was like, "Who is this?"
Yeah,
Uh,
y'all done found somebody that you wasn't too into
no, I
then.
found somebody. Hell, they were taller than me. I'm not kidding. She was a freaking giant.
That wouldn't take much.
Bullshit. She was a damn
How
scholarship
tall are you?
basketball player, all kinds of stuff.
Where'd y'all
I
meet
was
these
like,
people at?
what
The concert? Y'all just took somebody home?
They took us home. I'm not. Yeah, Cook. The best part was Cook. He was down there with that little. He got the sink that has the thing that pulls away from it.
Yeah.
He has a cowboy hat on, and he's got one of his purse wrapped around him or something. And he's like, "Mount Everest ain't got shit on me." It sprays the water straight up on the ceiling, soaks the ceiling. He's up there going, "Mount Everest ain't got shit on me."
That's funny.
He woke up great the next morning too.
He woke up great?
Yeah. He come upstairs and got me. He fell asleep downstairs. I fell asleep upstairs.
Was he as surprised as you were?
I think he was more surprised.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Oh, I bet you can't.
I can only imagine.
I bet you can't to this one. That one was, oh my God.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's pictures, videos.
I want to see.
It was not. I would like
He
to go
said,
to
hell
another.
no.
He said, hell no.
There ain't pics. He's.
I bet his face is blood red. Mine is right now from that one. That was something else. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hop off. Kristen, you did awesome. Thanks for telling your story. You did great.
Thank you.
All right, Kristen.
All right.
Have a good night. I'll holler at you.
All right.
All right, see.
Bye.
Y'all, if y'all missed it tonight, it'll be on my YouTube channel. If y'all didn't get to watch it all, it'll be on there. I appreciate y'all coming out, hanging out, listening to Kristen's story. Hopefully it helps somebody. Tanner, I don't know if y'all know him or not, but Tanner is going to do his story Wednesday night, and we're going to do boxes tomorrow night. We're going to do boxes tomorrow night, hang out, talk, and then Tanner will do his story Wednesday night. And then Casey is going to do her story Friday night. And we've got a story Saturday night. We got a story for Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. So I need to get in touch with them and make sure they're still doing them. But yeah, it'll be fun. If anybody has any questions, remember my email is in my thing. Y'all can email me. Y'all can email me if y'all want to tell your story or if you just need somebody to talk to or whatever. And if y'all miss anything, y'all can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and watch them, any of them. Love y'all. Thank y'all for coming, hanging out.